All right, friends, back here with more on 9 News at 5. We have some breaking news that's going to hit like a bombshell to the LSU community. We now have confirmed that 4 former LSU football players have been arrested on drug-related charges. We'll read the names to you. Jordan Jefferson, who was just this weekend at the South Carolina game. Tyrann Mathieu, 2 weekends ago at the South Carolina game. Tyrann Mathieu, of course, the Honey Badger. Carnell Hatcher and Derek Bryant, all charged now with possession with the intent to distribute marijuana. That's according to our law enforcement sources. Our WFB's Jim Shannon and Karen Chawler are doing most of the reporting on this. But again, Cheryl, Jordan Jefferson, Tyrann Mathieu, Carnell Hatcher, and Derek Bryant, all former LSU players arrested on big-time drug charges, especially when you start talking about the intent to distribute.
Yeah, and we're hearing now that the former players are in the process of being booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison at this time. That was at 4:45. We got that word. So shortly, as soon as we get video of that, we'll bring it to you. We do have a crew down there at the prison. Remember, Jefferson there is a former LSU quarterback who started the BCS National Championship game in January of 2012. And of course, Hatcher and Bryant, both defensive backs for LSU.
All right, so the headline right now reads, and it's going to be, as we said, a bombshell for the LSU community. Of course, doesn't affect any current players, but the former ones. Jordan Jefferson, Tyrann Mathieu, who was trying to make a comeback on the team, going to LSU, Carnell Hatcher, and Derek Bryant, all arrested on those drug charges, what could be a felony. When you start talking about intent to distribute, that means a whole lot of drugs.
On top of the other charges, the former charges, that's going to be a big mess.
Yes, so we will keep following this for you. We've got several crews spread out. We kind of knew this was going to happen, so we've got different crews, and we'll be bringing you the updates on our Facebook page, our mobile device, and then throughout this newscast when we get them. All right, let's...
Now, from Louisiana's News Channel, this is 9 News at 6.
9 News had this breaking news first. 4 former LSU football players arrested on drug charges.
And we are just now getting new details from police. The case deals with a marijuana bust that happened at an apartment complex near LSU this afternoon. Among those arrested, former Heisman Trophy finalist Tyrann Mathieu, former starting quarterback Jordan Jefferson, also arrested former linebacker Carnell Hatcher, and former safety Derek Bryant. WAP's Karen Chawler is live right now at a Baton Rouge police station where the players are going to be booked, or they were booked. Karen?
Well, Andre, we are expecting those 4 players to be walked any second, so in the meantime, we will go ahead and fill you in a little bit on those details. Around 3:30, officers actually got a call that someone was trying to force his way into an apartment. When the officers arrived at that apartment, they knocked on the door, and lo and behold, Tyrann Mathieu answered the door. They had they smelled a very strong odor of marijuana. They asked if they could go ahead and search his apartment. He consented to that, and that's when they found the 3 others inside. The man who was trying to force his way inside, police say he was Jordan Jefferson. Also found inside a marijuana grinder, digital scale, 10 bags of high-grade marijuana, and 7 bags inside Bryant's book bag. Now, one more time, Bryant and Jefferson are charged with possession of marijuana, and Hatcher and Bryant with possession with the intent to distribute marijuana. So again, 4 LSU standouts, 4 former LSU football standouts arrested today on drug charges. We are at 2nd District here on Highland Road, the Baton Rouge Police District, that is, and we are expecting those 4 to be walked any second, and they will be transported to the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, where they all 4 will be booked. And of course, we will be out here live bringing that to you. But for now, we are live. Karen Chawler, WAFB 9 News. We'll send it back to you, Andre.
All right, Karen, thank you. We're on top of this story. We will break in with any update at any moment.
This is 9 Sports with Sports Director Steve Schneider.
Tonight's arrest of 2 high-profile members of last year's LSU team, in addition to 2 other former Tigers who remain close to campus, raising some serious questions about their contact with former teammates who are still on Les Miles' roster. Remember, last October, Mathieu was suspended for the first time, along with 2 teammates who are still playing for LSU, all 3 missing the Auburn game. But running back Spencer Ware and defensive back Thorold Simon have returned this season to starting roles with the team. The news no doubt casting a dark cloud over the program just days before the national media descends on Baton Rouge for the nationally televised rematch with Alabama. Now, LSU players were scheduled for interviews tonight during their week off. WAFB Sharif Ishak is on campus And we hope to have some updates on those comments coming up tonight on our 10 o'clock show. Of course,
Okay, we're continuing our breaking news now, and we want to go to see what is happening. And there you see them emerging from the precinct on Highland Road.
Jordan Jefferson arrested today on drug charges. One of 4 former Tigers arrested. There's Carnell Hatcher. It looks like they're both getting in this police car.
Do you guys have anything to say?
Tyrann Mathieu and Derek Bryant also arrested today and now being taken by police into police cars.
Yeah, they're being careful and checking to make sure that the car is ready for them. This is a transport to the next phase of their processing on these charges.
That's right. I know Kieran Chawla is out there. I'm not sure if you can hear us. Here's Tyrann Mathieu again. He was hoping to make a comeback, and I believe this is Carnell Hatcher. Derek Bryant got in that car with Jordan Jefferson, but now these 2 former players will get into this police car. I hear Kieran trying to ask them questions there. Heads down, getting into the car.
They're not speaking to her. She's asking, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, what happened today about 3:30 this afternoon, police went to an apartment at 262 West State Street, just off campus. They say that was the residence of Tyrann Mathieu. He answered the door. Officers say they smelled a strong odor of marijuana, and they got consent from Mathieu to go inside. Once they were inside, they found, besides Mathieu, Jordan Jefferson, Derek Bryant, and Carnell Hatcher, 4 former Tigers inside, and also they found drugs and drug paraphernalia. And Mathieu Jefferson booked on simple possession of marijuana. Hatcher, second offense, simple possession. Bryant with possession and intent to distribute marijuana.
This is 9 News at 10.
When they knocked on the door, Tyrann Mathieu opened the door, and the officers said they were overpowered by the smell of marijuana coming from inside the apartment.
The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu and Jordan Jefferson, among 4 former LSU football players under arrest on drug charges tonight. Hi, I'm Donna Britt.
And I'm Andre Morrow. Tonight, all 4 players have been booked into Parish Prison. Former quarterback Jordan Jefferson, he started the BCS championship game, and the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, both charged with simple possession of marijuana. Also arrested former players Carnell Hatcher and Derek Bryant. We've got live team coverage of the arrest tonight, starting with WAFB's Kieran Chawla, who is outside Parish Prison. Kieran?
Good evening, Andre. Well, we just confirmed minutes ago that a bond has not been set yet on any of these 4 men, meaning all 4 remain at the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison for the moment. Now, all of this started earlier this afternoon when police received a call about someone trying to force their way inside an apartment complex. Baton Rouge police say they were called to this apartment complex near LSU Thursday afternoon by a maintenance man.
A man who was later identified as Jordan Jefferson was trying to force his way into the secured gated area around the complex.
The maintenance man and Jefferson got into a heated argument, police say, until Tyrann Mathieu, who lives there, came down and let Jefferson inside. That's when police arrived and went straight to Mathieu's apartment.
And when they did, they found a total of 10 bags of marijuana. 7 of those were located inside a book sack belonging to one of the other 2 men. One was found inside a dresser drawer in Tyrann Mathieu's bedroom, and the remainder were found in common areas of the apartment.
Police say they also found a marijuana grinder and a digital scale. Mathieu, Jefferson, and Hatcher are all charged with simple possession of marijuana. They say Bryant is the one with the 7 bags of pot inside his book bag. He's charged with possession with intent to distribute. Jefferson was LSU's quarterback last season and started in the BCS championship game last January. Mathieu, known as the Honey Badger, was kicked off the team earlier this year after several failed drug tests. He hoped to return to the LSU football team next season. The 2 others were former LSU defensive backs.
And it really doesn't matter who you are or what your status is. We're going to try to treat everybody equally as far as applying the law. And in this case, we had people that were violating the law, and we took the appropriate action.
Of course, some strong reaction on and off campus, some big news here, and my colleague Nick Foley is actually working on that angle. Nick, let's hear it. What kind of reaction are we hearing?
Well, Kieran, once again, timing an issue here. We are just over a week away from by far LSU's biggest game of the season against top-ranked Alabama, and once again, the university dealing with some negative publicity. Now, as Kieran mentioned, all these players are former Tigers, but fans are still passionate in their reaction nonetheless.
4 players, Tyrann Mathieu, Jordan Jefferson, Carnell Hatcher, Derek Bryant, 4 former players, I should say, arrested on drug charges.
The storyline is nothing new.
Disappointing. Not shocked.
Neither is the initial reaction from LSU fans.
I'd say it's just more sad.
Idiot. Terrible. I mean, that's all I can say.
Word of the arrest quickly spreading at Walk-On's Bar and Grill, with some folks not surprised to hear the news.
It just shows, you know, hey, I can get kicked off once, I can go say I'm going to get help and then get in trouble for it again, and it's all right, you know. People, they just don't seem to get it.
It gives us a negative image. You know, we're trying to bounce back from all the negative that's been thrown at us, and it happens again.
Most of the reaction centering around former defensive back Tyrann Mathieu, who just months after being kicked off the football team for failing a drug test, is now once again charged with drug possession.
I mean, he was going to be a pro, and he just threw it all away over weed. He threw away his college career, which he probably threw away his first-round pick. You know, he should have, you know, had an eye-opener then. But guess not, you know.
Still others remaining optimistic that these former players can bounce back from this run-in with the law.
Sad thing that happened, and you know, it comes down. That's life. But you know, you live and you learn, and that's it.
And Andre, we're still learning that as of now, no bond has been set for these LSU former players, as they're right here live at the LSU, or they live, I should say, the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. As of now, no new update on their status. We'll keep you updated as it becomes available. Back to you, Andre.
Yeah, we heard the guys say you live and you learn, but you wonder, are these Tigers ever learning? And we're going to hear more from some of the current football players about this later on in sports. Thanks, Nick. The coverage of this alarming event, 4 former LSU players arrested on drug charges, continues now on WAFB.com and on our free WAFB News app.